Up North winning the toss, kicking to the right of screen. Little breeze, cool night, ground in perfect nick. So Ishenko and Turnbull to start proceedings. It's Turnbull who wins it past McIntosh, and it was Mainwaring who socketed it down towards half forward. Mainwaring follows up. They're inside 50, the Eagles. Robert Scott giving chase. Mainwaring in the pocket, runs out of room and gets caught well by Robert Scott. The ball spills free and it goes to the outer side and eventually over the line. Armstrong sees it over for a throw-in.
Great start there, Sandy. Robert Scott being able to get in strong onto the tackle there as we look at the Eagles bench.
Schenko again. Hines knows what it's like to play premiership football with great success in South Australia. This is a Wilson, caught, gets the hand pass away. McKenna another one across the pipe. The Eagles look damaging as they go down towards Heady. Can he celebrate his 100th early? Tucked in the pocket. He tries some magic. It doesn't quite work. Martin tries to lock it up in the pocket there. Eventually gets it out, but not before the whistle had sounded.
Bounce in the right full forward pocket then. Ishenko. Ball trying to reach over the top. Ishenko still going deep in his own defence to Reynolds. Laidley sold into trouble. Now Martin with the run of it towards the opposite pocket. Well, that's ambitious. Who wants it? Laidley, as always, wanted it. He got more than he bargained for, but he's got the free kick in the back pocket. Comes out wide. Well-weighted kick. Allison gets on the end of it, close to the boundary line. Full house at the Wacker. He drives it towards half forward. McKernan in front, off hands. Stevens, the hurried kick, wobbles down towards the 50. Jakovic, big roar from the crowd. Jakovic and Carey. The boundary throw-in. Promoter's dream. Head-to-head tonight. Two of the superstars. You go back to round 6 last season. Carey, 2 votes. The Brownlow medal. Round 21, Jakovic got the 3. Here's Stevens, 45 metres out, floats it towards the middle. Mainwaring, valiant attempt, loose ball behind Longmire, away to Scott, 35 metres out. It's a goal. Great start for North.
Just what they needed there, North Melbourne, to be able to get the initial goal, and particularly through Robert Scott, who laid a strong tackle back in the back line a little bit earlier and being able to follow up into the play. Robert Scott's a player who needs to be able to kick more goals than perhaps what he has done in his past for North Melbourne to be a good side, and that on the left foot is an excellent start for him and the team.
Great start for the Roos. We go back with Ishenko and co again in the middle. And this time he's given away the free kick to Turnbull, who will pump the Eagles into attack. Ryan Turnbull.
Sandy, that's the second centre bounce there where McKernan and Ishenko have been in for North Melbourne.
Ishenko had dropped down into that defensive zone. Tackling has been a feature early on. McIntosh gets it across to Don Pike, wobbles one towards half forward. The punch was attempted, it wasn't successful. King defends to the outer side. In front of Ishenko. With him also is Chris Mainwaring, whose tackling has been excellent early on. Throw in on the outer side. The North bench. Archer coming back into that lineup. Rock there also. Ishenko and Hines again. Chance for Schwass. Had a big last quarter against Melbourne. It was he who fired up Carey down in that forward line and enabled them to have a 7-goal term and steal the show. In fact, his opening 2 games have been excellent. Fine, cool night here in Perth. Freshen up as the evening lengthens. At the moment, 15 degrees. Very good indeed. Schwass again. Another exciting start for him and North Melbourne. Towards centre wing, Stevens and Kemp. Roberts tries to keep it in play. He's not successful. So another throw in on the outer side.
North Melbourne by 6 points. Tossed in. McKernan in front. Turnbull got it down to Banfield. Bounces it down towards half forward McIntosh. Strong tackle by Scholl. Got him down. The ball spills across the line. A gentle breeze. An easterly. North Melbourne kicking with it. Lucky if it's worth more than a goal. Ishenko in front. Could have been interfered with. Hines comes back. Evans kicks it straight up in the air. Chuckles as he did it. Knocked down by Ishenko. Wilson wide of the pack. Nicely done. Back over his left shoulder. Schwass blanketed. Stevens likewise. Wilson did well. Hines crashes in. Schwass came back again. Knocked out by McKernan. Picked up by Kemp. Kemp on the wing. Pulls it back to half forward. A lot of pressure in there. Evans. Banfield. Kicks inside the 50. Not a good one. Schwass had a lot of time initially, but ran into a teammate. Made it tough. This is Armstrong. Wants his left side. Boots it down towards half forward. Jakovic goes back, almost a clever mark. Carey over the top. Nichols, 45 metres out. He likes this sort of effort. Was it touched on the line? It's touch and go. It's a goal.
North Melbourne Smalls right in amongst it there. Trent Nichols, formerly a West Coast Eagles player, and prior to that Richmond has really come in now to the North Melbourne side and given that extra dimension that they need to complement the three talls that they run in the forward line. Nichols, previously Scott, have both been very good running into that forward line.
A stunning opening by North Melbourne here in Perth. Hines gets up high, trying to go over Ashenko. Schwass again. What a start he's had up towards the half-forward line. The Eagles' defence being tested. Turnbull almost leg. Gets clear. The big man does well. Goes towards McIntosh down at half-forward. Scholl is there, and so too is Blakey, now in the veteran class. Gives it to another one. Ross Smith, approaching his 200th game next week. 199 on that occasion was not kind to him. Out of bounds on the full.
Gutsy mark by Blakey going back just moments ago, Sandy.
Yes.
Whoa.
Kick goes again towards McIntosh, and Blakey waiting down is Scott. Schwass was there also. Pike for the Eagles. Touched over the line.
Sandy Mick Malthouse has decided to start McIntosh in the forward line. He's had a little bit of trouble placing him of late, but he's in the forward line and he's being stood by Scholl.
Throw in again with Hines doing the ruck work from behind, but it's Schwass in front getting another possession down towards the half forward line. Again, Turnbull sees it over and another throw in. But in North's attacking zone, Turnbull has started the season very well. McKernan coming back after injury. Turnbull front spot with a big right. Banfield beaten to the punch and again over the line for another throw in.
Pretty tight, as you can see. The Eagles favourite. Off hands, Banfield again. Smith heads for the boundary line, gets it across. Wayne Schwass has started well, 6 possessions already. He played 5 minutes. Throwing out his side. Glorious night for footy. Ashenko in front. Hines with the run. Ashenko clean possession. Gets out of trouble too. Smith close to the boundary line. Hooks it down towards half forward. Oh, great grab in front.
Very
McKernan,
good mark being in front, Dennis.
Tumbling to the ground. The hand pass not the equal of the earlier good work. Kept it off the ground. Got it to Hines. Intended for Pike. Schwass got in again. Socket off the ground by Smith. Down towards half forward. Stevens put his body in. Lewis comes and pushes it across the line. Anthony Stevens in the foreground. Grew up supporting Collingwood. His idols Darren Mullane, Peter Dacos, Tony Shaw. But he's glad he's with North tonight. Tossed in, McKernan slaps it down, taken by Schwass. Floats one towards half forward. Awkward bounce. Hart. Still Hart in front. Nichols worried him out of it, out of bounds. Now it's a free kick. Pushing the back, says the umpire.
And that's a fair call too. He'd taken the front position and held his ground well. Nichols just over the top into the back.
David Hart, All-Australian last year, goes from the back pocket, kicks up towards centre wing. Ashenko, the spoiler from behind. Mainwaring's waiting at the back. Gets a chance now if he can keep it in play. But again, good pressure. Sees another throw in on that outer side. That's where the bulk of the play has been.
Sandy, this half-back line of North Melbourne standing up very strongly in this initial part. The Eagles haven't been able to get through to centre half forward very fluently at all yet.
Ashenko and Hines to do battle again. Hines had front spot. Roberts tries to get it out towards King. North Melbourne forward long kick up towards half forward. White was in front, couldn't take the mark. Was there holding on there? No. Play on. A high snap is wide and by no means handsome. Out of bounds on the full. Corey McKernan. No addition to the score. Hart to bring it back into play. He'll head towards Turnbull, who's got to do battle with McKernan, but he's equal to the task. McIntosh scouting the wing, but he elects to go in towards Hines, who can run on from the centre. He does so now. Down the ground.
Yeah.
Well, he retained his feet. What did you think, Terry?
Alex Ushenko, he overstepped the mark by a couple of metres. The kick was clearly taken, and he kept coming and took Hines out of it.
Alex having a few words, but it stands, and a chance for the West Coast Eagles to score their first for the night. Jason Ball directly in front and kicking from 44 metres. Looks to be away to the left. One behind. They're down by 11 points.
Sandy, North Melbourne are forcing the Eagles into perhaps that short kick into Hines there with some of the matchups. Stevens on Kemp, Banfield on Schwass. They're really being able to tie up the Eagles midfielders just at the moment.
Smith towards the outer side. Big pack at the fall of the ball. Turnbull. Kemp was pushed off the kick, but it flew to Pike. Pike just outside the 50, heads for the pocket, and Heady over his head. Heads for Heady and over his head and out of bounds in the pocket. So boundary throw in. Turnbull doing the right thing. Big leap from behind in that pack, getting it forward. A half chance for the Eagles has gone begging. 2 goals straight to a behind. Ball and Ushenko. It came behind them. All North Melbourne on his knees. Scholl did very well. Schwass, clever. Got the hand pass to the voice supplied by Martin. Martin, a probing kick through the middle down towards half forward. Jakovic found it on the ground. Comes away from Carey. Jakovic. The locals love it. He boots it to the outer side. Blakey reaches over the top. Timely fist. McKernan pushed off the kick. He goes again. Showed a lot of courage. Turnbull tries to reef it in. It's locked in there and a ball up. Ryan Turnbull, very much the coming generation of ruckman, so mobile for a man that size. So a ball up down towards half forward for the West Coast Eagles. North making a very good start. A clash of the heavyweights tonight. Hines was up. Won't endear him to Ushenko. In the pack, Armstrong moved the ball by about 20 metres. Wilson kept it in front. Sockers off the ground. Mainwaring a chance.
On the outer side, Chris Mainwaring has started pretty well. Brings it back into the half-forward line. Heady waits behind. Ball is the play. And we'll have another shot. This time closer to goal.
That's a very good mark, that one. This is a better forward thrust. Mainwaring knowing that the height advantages with ball, and what a great reach he had over the top of Keenan Reynolds there. 4 goals last week. His second shot tonight for what should be his first.
Kicking from just on 40 metres. Drop punt straight through the middle. So the Eagles get there first, with thanks to Jason Ball.
And just what they needed there. North Melbourne had really started very well in being able to pick up the 2 early goals, being able to shut down some of the Eagles midfielders and dominate the play through there. But now the Eagles settling back in, a long ball into the forward line, very good mark, and a good goal to Jason Ball.
Ushenko knocks it down. North Melbourne by 5 points. And the free kick is going to Don Pike. Pike wasting no time. Goes down towards half forward. Blakey over the top. Did the right thing. Big fist on that one. Waiting in front though. Banfield to Kemp. The Eagles looking better. This is Pike. 75 metres out. Ball against the target. Works his way in front. Reynolds has been penalised. So Ball, a chance to put the Eagles in front right here. Kicking from about 25 metres out. Didn't seem to be too much there. May have been holding with the left hand. Sound like the umpire's friend. There's Ball going at his second goal. The tallest man on the ground tonight. What's he done? He's hit the post. Very high up. Jason Ball has started well, but not translating it on the scoreboard. He breathes a sigh of relief. And the margin is 4 points. Ball comes in at 198 centimetres, just under 6'6".
Ross Smith bring it back into play. Heads to the outer side. Reynolds was one of the flyers. McIntosh there. Hines also. Robert Scott applies the tackle on Hines, but he gets the hand pass away. Picked up by Scholl. Goes back towards Allison. Almost trapped it at the first attempt. Did well to get it out at the second. Armstrong claimed. Not before he tries to get it to Stevens. Spooned out the back door. Scholl a chance, but the whistle has sounded. It's going to come back, and it will be a free kick to be taken by Allison. On the defensive side of centre. He drifts to half forward. Wanted Carey. At the back is his immediate opponent in Jakovic. And Jakovic has had the better early on in this contest. Towards the boundary line, he was looking for Mainwaring. Anthony Stevens, who averages something like 25 possessions a game, sees it over.
And Sandy, the change is being made with Capuano coming on now to take Jason Ball in the back pocket for North Melbourne.
Turnbull again battling with McKernan. There's Turnbull. Now Kemp had an exciting start to the year. Schwass too has had a great couple of games. Off to Stevens. They go down towards Carey. Jakovic again. Too good at the moment. To Hart, defending from full-back. White calls for it on half-back. And he'll settle it down with King on the mark. Pops it up towards centre wing. He wanted Hines, who was late and not effective on John Longmire. Longmire's centering kick. Now he wants his captain. Still can't get him. Jakovic at the back, ridden into the ground. Umpire calls play on. In towards McKernan in the pocket. Mitchell White is there also. It beats them both over the line for another throw in.
Tough on Jakovic, I would have thought. So a throw in. McKernan's on the ground. Capuano's on the ground. Ashenko's on the ground. Remarkable in the 90s. Throw it in. Turnbull knocks it down. Waterman hits for the boundary line, and that will do. Boundary throw in. Left full forward for North. We lead by 5 points, or is it 4? It's 4 points. Turnbull swats it straight up in the air. Simmons towards the boundary line across. Reynolds having a sit down. Roberts and Archer. Turnbull and McKernan go at it again. McKernan knocks it in front. Rock on the ground now, pulls it back towards the kickoff line. Longmire, White in close attendance, and Hart, the beneficiary, comes across to McKenna. He's at left half back, right on his own defensive 50. Guy McKenna. In short. Jakovic goes by Carey. High kick towards the wing. McIntosh in front, shouldered very well. Got around the body. Got the fist there out of bounds.
And Terry, this crowd can sense a real struggle, particularly with Jakovic and Carey. They're loving it at the moment.
Jakovic has started extremely well, hasn't he?
Yes, certainly has. On centre wing with under 7 minutes remaining in this first half. Hines and Ashenko, Waterman into trouble. Kemp over the top. Grant Vernon comes in for a bounce. Kemp, ball is held. And the same procedure will take place once again. Still on centre wing. As Dennis said, a full house here at the Wacker tonight. The locals hoping to complete a big day of football, but early days yet. Don Pike. Armstrong gets him. The ball swings over the boundary line, just into North's attacking zone. Schenko and Hines again. Schenko with the left pike off to Kemp. Dean Kemp wants McIntosh. Oh, he just had it spent before he was off. Scholl defends. Back towards Nichols. It ricochets towards Stevens, who soccers forward towards King. Had it for a moment. So too did Allison. Locked up at half forward. It comes eventually out the back door to Ryan Turnbull. Now Schenko's backbacking. Can't complete the mark. Hines comes away on centre wing. The Eagles go towards 100-gamer Heady. He too was off before acceptances. They claim him. It spills free to Wilson. Tries to push it out the back door. And then Dean Laidley delivered, said the umpire. It wasn't too subtle, but he was under a fair amount of pressure, and he's been pinged for delivery. So Peter Wilson being brought round, but way too far out to score. It'll be a centering kick. He'll head towards Heady and Lewis. It is the former who marks and under really no pressure. Plays on again. McIntosh the target. Straight in front, 45 metres out. This shot for the Eagles to hit the front.
And a very important shot for Ashley McIntosh too, to gather some form. Led well there, took the mark.
Kicks from just inside 50, and he's got it. So McIntosh gets his first on the home side. Edges in front.
That is a good start there for Ashley McIntosh, now being moved into the forward line to try and find a little bit of a niche. With last week only one mark, tonight having one nice and early, being able to slot the goal through. That's a very good position for him, and I think he will become a very good player as the evening goes on there tonight.
Eagles in front now by 2 points. McKernan slaps it out wide. Mainwaring from half back towards half forward. Will run at that Sumich. Hit him on the nose. Bounces away. Taken by Scholl. Breaks a tackle. Boots to the outer side wing. Armstrong plays on immediately. Spearing kick inside the 50. Well, just outside because Carey came to meet it. He's got this mark about 60 metres from goal. Telling kick in from the side. McKernan. Fisted away by Turnbull. Up against the post behind. Just over 4 minutes till quarter time. A point the difference. They're slugging it out at the Wacker. As we expected. As we hoped. Mitchell White. This is Hart. David Hart. High kick towards half back from behind is Schenko. Falls forward to King. And King proceeds to put it out of bounds on the full. Hart again, further up the ground this time. Told to kick over the mark. What's the difference? You may well ask. Here's Waterman from centre half back. Mainwaring. Mainwaring goes down towards half forward. Good kick. McIntosh, who got the last goal from a long way out. From 80 metres out now. Sets it up. Ball's in front. Knocked away by Capuano. Ball comes again. Capuano tries to knock it out. Smith is in there. The umpire wants it.
25 metres out from the Eagles' zone. They've edged in front after 2 early goals from North. Capuano gets a hurried kick, but straight to Kemp. Dean Kemp bends it back. A little too far. One behind.
Sandy Darren King just going off. He's had a role on half-forward flank of actually tagging Guy McKenna, the Eagles' half-back flanker, and the change has now been made because that has not been a successful move.
Roberts off the bench. Schwass bringing it back into play. Best and fairest winner at the club, and a big pack of players and some big leapers. McKenna runs into a brick wall. Look at Mainwaring working hard at the bottom of the pack, but it was Scott who got it out. Spills towards Hines. He meets a brick wall too, so too does Scott. Eventually they get it clear. Down towards Carey and Jakovic. Djakovic again, front spot, jostling with Carey. Djakovic again victorious. On the outer side, he gets the hand pass away, and Chris Mainwaring will clear for the West Coast Eagles. He finds Dean Kemp on centre wing. Kemp swings it up towards half forward. Hines comes over the top, can't complete the mark. Sumich was there, but it's Scholl who sneaks away for the ruse. Poking it back towards the centre. Simmons leads in the race for the ball for the West Coast Eagles. Time ticking away with just over 2 minutes remaining. Allison towards the boundary line, and he's quite content to see it over. Good tight opening here at the Wacker in this first quarter. Alexishenko having a spell. King, Reynolds on the north bench. Turnbull won it. Stevens unable to take it away. Simmons scouting close to the boundary line. He's still going, but gets well tackled. Shoveled out the back door only as far as Stevens, who's bundled over the line. Turnbull, Capuano towards the boundary line. Stevens, another throw in. Under 2 minutes remaining, and really nothing in this first quarter. Turnbull wins it. Banfield does it at the back towards Pike. Nice little sidestep. Eventually dodged into trouble. McKenna could have been pushed in the back. Laidley tried to soccer off the ground. Roberts tries to get it out in front of Rock, who sneaks away up towards half forward, towards Carey and Djakovic. Nichols scouting, bends it back in towards full forward. North need a mark. The Eagles need to defend. Hart, it spills free towards Djakovic. He sees it towards the boundary line. Instead of taking it over, keeps it in play, has time to steady and find Drew Banfield. A fraction too high for him. Still kept in play. Nichols it is, who soccers off the ground towards Archer. Another one by Hart goes back towards the centre of the ground, and it's Schwass.
He's away. Schwass, who started so well. Look at the kick. All of about 75 metres was Carey held. Loose ball behind. Well done by White. Kept his head, comes away. Finds McKenna. Banfield. From half back towards midfield. Heady has to wait. Will be made to earn it. Laidley bearing down. Heady's got the ball on the centre wicket area. 35 seconds to quarter time. Hines up ahead. The ball in that direction. Ball goes up. Great grab. He's been terrific. Ball pops it out to Lewis on the burst. Pushed in the back. Oh, no free kick. Smith deep in the pocket. Roberts approaching the siren. About 10 seconds to go. McKenna just outside the 50. We're down to 5 seconds. He doesn't know that. Centering kick and a beauty. Pike on the end of it. On the siren. 30 metres out. Currently, their lead by 2 points. Could be extended. Interesting too, North Melbourne playing in their pre-season uniforms. I've been busy eating chocolate for the last couple of days. Was this always going to be the case, Andy? Has that been advertised?
You would eat chocolate?
Well, we knew that. There goes the kick from Pike. It's a goal.
I was led to believe that they were going to share them around a bit.
All right, okay. As far as I'm concerned, I exceeded the calorie cap. I know that.
So siren time here, and a very even first quarter in Perth. It's the West Coast Eagles with that goal now sneaking 8 points clear. 3-3, 21, North Melbourne. 2-1, 13. Second term, it's the Eagles in front by 8 points. Hines again, up high, but it's Schwass who gets the first kick. He picked up a ton of possessions in the first quarter. Turnbull defends towards Djakovic. This time he overruns it. Turnbull overruns it again. A chance for McKernan. He picks it up beautifully. He kicks towards Longmo, goes into the open goal. Oh,
He dropped it.
He spilled it, one behind. Or is it going to come back? It's going to come back.
Has he paid the mark?
Well, let's have a look, Terry.
He holds the body. Yes, he's held the mark. if he hadn't have fumbled it, he would have kept going without any doubt whatsoever.
And he's gone. The Eagles fans not happy. But an excellent start for North in the second quarter.
Perhaps rightfully so by the Eagles fans, that John Longmire had the ball, he had it in his possession, and I think he decided then to turn it. But the great part was the pick up there from Corey McKernan. A boy of his size to be able to bend down and pick it up like that. Longmire definitely played on, dropped it, but the umpire's giving him a second chance.
So the margin 2 points. Interesting start, that one to the turn. Hines favoured by the bounce. Comes wide. Scott kicking it down towards centre half forward. Carey trapped it pretty well. Feeds the hand pass away to Rock, in trouble. It spills across to McKernan. Goes with the outside of the boot. A lot of courage from Simmons. Opportunity for Allison. Great tackle by Simmons. Brought him down. McKenna gave it to this man Waterman with some time in the back pocket, almost too much time. Mainwaring confronted by Stevens, loose ball across half back. Hart's got it now for the Eagles. A high kick towards the wing. Hines has to wait. He had the time. To Kemp. Kemp on the overlap. Gets by Stevens from the wing, goes down towards half forward. From behind, Blakey tried to fist away. Quick hands from Laidley. This is Smith, close to the boundary line, pulls it back once more. This time Ashenko in front, brings it down in front. Stevens didn't have the ball. He'll get the free kick. Advantage is paid. And away comes Schwartz, his second bounce. Runs through the wing, probing kick inside the 50. Carey battles for front spot, but in the meantime, White slips around to take the mark. Gives it off to Jakovic. Shepherded well as well, but the hand pass from Jakovic, very indecisive, and it's gone out of bounds.
You always question those forward handballs, don't you? You know, the receiver's always going to have his back to the play, whereas Jakovic running towards goal, he should have been the designated kicker there.
Saw Wayne Schwartz in that passage. He's picked up 10 possessions so far in this game. This is Stevens. Around his body, Waterman running with the fly to the ball, almost took a good mark. Archer on all fours, gets it out the back door. Robert Scott with a run. Sockers off the ground, down towards the forward zone, but taken by White, playing in front of Longmire. Goes to the outer side. Simmons and Allison both there. The race is on. Allison leads. Will he keep it in play? Another fine tackle by Simmons. Armstrong under pressure. Well done, Simmons. Well done indeed towards Banfield on the outer side. And Drew Banfield flicks it up towards Hetty and McIntosh. Can't keep it in play. Laidley there also, and a throw in. But into the Eagles attacking zone. They lead by a couple of points early in the second term. Competition to get into this Eagles outfit now is just so fierce. You've got to make the most of every opportunity. And that's what Simmons is certainly trying to do. Scholl around his body, too far out in front of King, and another throw in.
I think he's going to be a very good player, young Simmons. Nice size for a wingman too, as you can see, and can take a mark. Mind you, the wings aren't exactly up for grabs at the moment. As Sandy was saying, Rock behind, gets the hand pass away. Schwartz, who's been terrific. High kick towards the middle. And Mainwaring goes back and takes the mark on his chest. Chips it out wide. Hines has run on down the ground. No one near him. Short one is on to Lewis, midway between the lines. Pokes it in short to Hart. He's about 65 metres out, David Hart. Plenty of movement up ahead. McIntosh proving a little elusive off the mark for Scholl. Again, did him over the first 10, and that was enough. Now, McIntosh is normally a thumping kick. He'll kick from about 55 metres out. Ashley McIntosh going at his second. It is a beautiful kick. Has it got the carry? Not quite. About 5 metres out in the contest, and the ball comes off hands. Smith, a despairing lunge. It's across the line.
Schenko is there. Ball is there to do the ruck work from behind. Schwartz at the back of the pack. Laidley. McKernan. Oh, fine mark coming over the top of Chris Mainwaring.
It's a great jump, isn't it? Very aggressive at the ball all the way.
Into the middle, Simmons juggles it to Pike. Kemp handled it like a hot potato. Simmons again does well to half forward. Oh, what a mark, an attempted mark by Heady. Play on down towards Lewis at full forward, couldn't take it. Martin defends towards Laidley at half back for North Melbourne, and Dean Laidley gets the Roos out of trouble. Back up over the centre. Fine attempted mark, but not paid by Carey. Rock gets a hurried kick down towards Archer, just inside 50. He couldn't take it. Pressure now on Hart. With him is Allison. They were holding each other. The umpire let it go on. It eludes Hart for a moment. Mitchell White gets the hand pass away, and McKenna is steady as a rock in defence. This Eagles defence is one of the best in the league. And he brings it out wide towards the wing, out in front of Wilson. Blakey is leading him to the ball. Together they see it over the line.
And that was a marvellous kick. Not much on up the ground. He actually put it in a position where Wilson could push it across the line. Such was the precision there of Guy McKenna. Boundary throw in. Turnbull directs it down. Rock's got it. Wilson's got him. Ball jarred free. Kemp's away. Has a bounce. Hard against the line. Kicks it inside the 50. Ball, Giant steps from behind. Controls it pretty well. Found it on the ground. Pulls it back across the body. Lewis has to wait. Well done by Martin. Sumic goes off the ground. It bounces, I think, out of bounds. Or did it? What's the call? A boundary throw in. Left full forward. Martin in the nick of time. Tossed in. Capuano knocks it down. McIntosh deep in the left full forward pocket. Pulls it back. Goal umpire doesn't move. He's got another one.
Very good work there from the big fella. I mean, the boundary thrown was tossed in over the back here as a result of Capuano getting his hand on, but then first back into the right, but always around onto the favoured left foot. Perhaps the North defenders should have realised that he was always going to go that way, but the left foot slammed it right through. A very good second goal to Ashley McIntosh.
2 goals to McIntosh. North trail by 8 points as Wilson sends the Eagles down into half-forward zone once again towards Brett Heady. Martin and Sumic. Martin caught, tries to get it back towards Laidley. Mainwaring and Robert Scott together and over the boundary line. But again, deep in the Eagles' attacking zone. Ball. Scholl gets caught. Does get the hand pass away. Kemp takes the short one from Wayne Schwass. Dean Kemp into attack very quickly. Ball is his target. Fisted clear. Ricochets away from Scholl towards Heady. Almost threw it out, but accepted by Blakey. Blakey runs away. He goes over the centre, up towards half forward. McKenna chanced his arm, got boot to ball, back towards the centre. Kemp couldn't take it. Stevens did for North Melbourne. Back towards half forward. Jakovic leads Carey. He pushes the ball along in front. Jakovic still going and eventually loses out. It's back towards Carey. Carey from Reynolds shoots in towards goal, but he goes across the face and out of bounds on the full. So Wayne Carey in his 101st game having his work well and truly cut out.
Only his second kick there as the ball goes towards the outer side, off hands. Falls to Hart, gains about 15 metres. This is Turnbull. Brian Turnbull playing well. Very interesting on the ball, all the duels tonight. Kick towards the outer side. Laidley launched himself at that one, knocked it down in front. Grabbed by Rock. Brilliantly smothered there and stopped effectively by Hart. The kick not particularly good. Taken by Rock. It was smothered. It ricochets towards the outer side and Schwass. He comes away. Mainwaring gets in the hole. And just as well. It was intended for the leading Longmire. Mainwaring at centre half back. Gestures. Now he kicks. McIntosh again slipping away. He's got the ball on the wing. Kemp wants it short. He leaves it though for White. 1 of 2. White intended, I think, for that man down there, Bond, who's taken a very good mark. And the kicker didn't make it easy.
And was a very good mark, Dennis. And I think perhaps that was the first one of the kicks from the Eagles that hasn't been pinpoint accuracy. The majority of times where they've had an opportunity from a set play to feed an Eagles player with a kick, they have done it and done it so very, very well. But Bond turned that one into a very fine mark.
That's what threw Blakey. The bad kick. Here's Bond from 50. And he's missed to the left-hand side. Bond, Shane Bond, 21 goals last year. Played 15 games, kicked at least one in 10 of them. 4-4-3-1. With just under 12 minutes till half-time, Ross Smith boots it in. McKernan props in front. Capuano flew as well. They've done that a lot tonight. Two of the big men up. It's out of bounds.
11 3/4 minutes remaining in the first half. Turnbull wins it, but it goes straight to Schwass. Another possession to Wayne Schwass. Kick number 12. Belted away. King couldn't take it. Hart runs into trouble. Loses the football. Back comes King again. Gives it off towards Rock. He bounced his way towards the 50. Now inside 50. Rock sets sail for home. Shooting in towards goal and puts it through. Or is it a free kick right on the very last line of defence for a push? It is, and it goes the way to Hart. So the Eagles out of trouble. And North see an opportunity, go begging, Terry Will.
A very finely measured 5 metres by the umpire on that decision against Keenan Reynolds.
McIntosh on centre wing, gives it across to Chris Mainwaring. Bond leaves it for him. He wobbles it towards half forward. Martin and Sumich couldn't take it. Banfield can, back to Sumich. The left footer from 52 metres. Swings around and kicks a ripper. Well, what a turnaround. North looked for one, it went into the ground and bang. It's virtually a 12-point turnaround.
It certainly was. That should have been a goal from Rock. The interference, as adjudged by the umpire against Keenan Reynolds, gave the ball back to the Eagles and they've come down. And Banfield, who is playing against Wayne Schwass, finds Sumich just outside 50, and that trusty left foot doesn't miss too many on that hook, Sandy.
First goal to Peter Sumich. So the Eagles steady as the kick from Hart goes down towards half forward, but only as far as Laidley. He bends it back, going over the middle. He wants his captain, who's spoiled by Jakovic. Armstrong tries to get out. He does to McKernan, but he's under great pressure. Simmons also. Rock again, shoots it down towards the forward line. White defends. Archer is there. He does the shepherding work for Longmire. He bends one back, but he's way off target and out of bounds on the full.
Johnny Longmire never looks comfortable on those snaps, Sandy. He just really hasn't got the balance necessary there, and a big hook that just went too high and too wide.
15 points the margin. So Anthony Rock has a spell on the bench for Trent Nichols, and Waterman brings it back into play. Biggest margin we've seen. Turnbull marks well. McKernan his opposition. Turnbull's kick towards centre wing. McIntosh was there. Banfield gets the hand pass away. Laidley a chance. Bond to Sumich. Got one high. It's going to come back.
Well, you wonder whether that's a declaration that he hasn't got a right foot.
Well, I think he might have something in the right eye, but it doesn't affect the pass, and an excellent mark by Chris Lewis.
They've just looked a lot sharper inside 50 than North Melbourne have. When an Eagle leads, he's leading strong and hard and generally honoured by a very, very good kick.
Lewis coming in for only his second kick of the night. But this to stretch the lead to 21 points. Too far out, so he just drifts it in beautifully to Ball, who should have held the mark. He didn't. Smith gets the hand pass away, and North Melbourne are going to be out of trouble for the moment. Back towards Simmons on centre wing. He does it beautifully, the youngster. Brings it back in towards Ball territory once more. The big pack pushes it down. Sumich is waiting down in front. From just outside 50 towards McIntosh. Couldn't quite take the mark. but a wonderful try, and Schwass will come away for North Melbourne. Yet another possession, off to Blakey, and the Roos out of trouble. He kicks towards Keenan Reynolds on centre wing. Almost held on towards Guy McKenna, but umpire says play on. Reynolds in there again, in the thick of things. Hart there also, and Trent Nichols. Grant Vernon comes in and says, I'll take charge, boys, on centre wing. Just over 8 minutes remaining in the first half.
This has been a very good period for Peter Sumich to be out around half forward where he can run on and get a few possessions, and he's making the most of that opportunity.
Scott going nowhere. And another bounce. 8 minutes to half time. Good term this one for the West Coast Eagles, bearing in mind, of course, North got the first 2 goals of the game. McKernan deemed kicking in danger, and Pike will get the free. Don Pike down towards half forward. Sumich on the lead, doubles back just inside the line. Sockers out of bounds on the full. North Melbourne free. Capuano deep in his own defensive area. High towards the wing. Turnbull from behind knocks it down in front. Armstrong hasn't seen a lot of the ball. Kicks towards half forward. Jakovic and Carey. Reynolds to Carey. 80 metres from goal. High up and under. Only these 2 men inside the 50. Longmire's taken the mark almost directly in front. He's got one.
This was a good mark, and as you called, Dennis, they were the only 2 there, so in order for this to be a successful move forward, he had to take it, and he did.
6 last week. He stays on 1 for tonight so far. Tugging it left, John Longmire. North edge a little closer. The margin 14 points, 5-4, 3-2. The breeze has dropped completely now. Here's Wilson. A real sense of occasion at the Wacker tonight. Wilson told to play on. Back to McKenna, back to Wilson. Wilson, forward of the back pocket towards the wing. Going back with great courage, Wayne Carey. Great mark.
He's on centre wing. Trying to lift his side, he kicks to half forward. And a good mark taken by Longmire again. So can he make amends? He's just the one in this game, kicked in this quarter. 445 in his career.
Carey sets up Longmire here, and to be brutally honest, this is a goal he must kick. This is what full forwards are paid for.
He's going to be kicking from just inside 50, a step or so. Well, he didn't look confident at all in the approach.
It's got to be a worry to Dennis Pagan that John Longmire showing that lack of confidence in that approach there. Just what he can do with his full forward line now, he will need to address at half time.
McKenna stabs it to Mitchell White, put him under a bit of pressure, and it ricochets. In fact, it didn't ricochet, came off the boot and out on the full. So it gives Rock a chance to send North deep into attack once more. He's called to play on from outside 50. He kicks towards full forward. McKernan had front spot, belted towards the boundary line. White is there, McKenna is there, so too Simmons.
Umpires hot on that this season, aren't they? Calling play on.
Yep.
He might have been out of the field of play there, I think, Rock, when he was called to play on.
Turnbull wins it over the back. Waterman does it nicely to Hart, and again the Eagles' defence works beautifully. To the outer side, Drew Banfield tries to keep it in play, but Schwass ends his run.
Drew Banfield, an emerging player. Boundary throw and out his side. Carey is pushed up, as you can see. Jakovic has come with him. Ball and Capuano. Hooked down by Ball. Knocked forward by Waterman. Schwass heads for the boundary line, and that will do. Throw and out his side. Just over 5 minutes till half time. 5-4 to 3-3. The West Coast Eagles up. Ball and Capuano again. Ball gets it down again. Waterman in the action. Kemp's got the run of it. He's outnumbered, as you can see. Support arrives, timely support. Wilson hand passes towards half forward. Martin across to Laidley. Laidley comes away from half back towards half forward. Reynolds is up. Terrific mark. Strong hands alongside the centre circle. He's told to play on. Kicks inside the 50. In front, up one hand McKernan. This is Simmons. Props off one step. Gives it away. Rock outside the 50. Pumps it back in. McKernan. Turnbull closing. Loose ball behind. Across the line it goes. Mainwaring escorting that ball behind. 4.5 minutes till half time. 3-4. Plays 5-4.
Ashley McIntosh, the only multiple scorer on the ground. He's got 2. But scoring has not been easy. Guy McKenna will be warmed in a moment. He is warmed, and he gets on with it. Spirals one down towards Banfield. Stevens does the roving work. Gives away a little room to Blakey, who goes in towards Longmire. He's got to beat 3. One of those was Wilson. Peter Wilson from the back pocket. Just chips to Ryan Turnbull. Shows great agility. Turnbull towards centre wing. This has been the Eagles' quarter to date. Schwass is there. Ball gets it out towards Kemp, one of the form players in the league at the moment, perhaps with Schwass and Campbell of Richmond. They've had excellent starts to the year. Martin's kick towards centre wing. Pike works well. Gets it out towards Wilson. He puts it in front of Bond. Look out. Caught by Laidley. He tried to steal it and almost did. Capuano tries to soccer off the ground. Armstrong couldn't pick it up. Back to Laidley once again. North need a goal before the half-time siren. Carey's their man. 55 metres out. Bends it in towards the pocket. He wants Longmire. With him is Mitchell White. Together they see it over the line.
Dennis Pagan would have to be concerned at the number of contests that are occurring in the air in the North Melbourne forward line without small players at the feet of the contest. Under Longmire or Reynolds or McKernan, there needs to be another small in order to take advantage of these opportunities.
Carey from behind knocks it forward. In front Armstrong. Not much space there. Gets the hand pass away. Well done. King is claimed by Kemp. Now Turnbull. See it's behind. Well, the mix is very much height tonight for North Melbourne. There's King, former VFA star, and now a whistle. The umpire still waving the flag. It'll come back to Chris Waterman. 5-4-3-5. Confident. Kemp. Rock did well. Got a fist in there. That was enough. Got it out of bounds. So a throw in. Inside 3 minutes till half-time. Anthony Rock. The foreground, Dean Kemp. Throwing in McKernan and Turnbull. In from the side, Jakovic. McKernan stood up in a tackle. It spills across to McKenna. He boots it towards the wing. Laidley went back, dropped the mark. Spills wide, opportunity for Martin. Arriving with great speed, Scott smothered off the boot by Sumich, grabbed by Bond. Gets it to Mainwaring in space. A question of accuracy. Whoops, a daisy.
Well, not a lot to be said. Capuano, one of the flyers. Hart down to Waterman. They'll get another chance because McIntosh is loose. 50 metres out and away he goes for goal. He too is away to the right, not as wide as Chris Mainwaring.
Finding valuable space. The Eagles through the midfield now. Mainwaring there earlier and now McIntosh again. North Melbourne defence just seems a little bit rattled at the moment.
Critical couple of minutes, isn't it, just before half-time. 12 points the margin. Laidley has it in the back pocket for North Melbourne. To the outer side. Turnbull with a mighty fist. Armstrong has been pretty quiet. North need more from him. Simmons has worked hard. Banfield gets the hand pass away. Here goes ball again. Tumbling towards Sumich. Now they should be careful because there could be a football going the other way. Lewis and Ross Smith just having a chat, exchanging Easter pleasantries.
Well, again, we see Peter Sumich this time get out well by himself. Mickey Martin, his direct opponent, was some 30 metres away, gave Sumich the chance to take the mark, take the clip behind the ear, and a shot at goal.
This for his second and his 457th career goal. Peter Sumich. Oh, no, he's missed, I think. Wow. This last 5 minutes has been quite extraordinary.
I think they're doing it numerically. Mainwaring missed. Now Sumich has missed. It's a good thing Dwayne Lamb's retired.
Yeah, he picked up a ton of kicks today. Schwass from the back pocket. Speaking of picking up a ton of kicks, Schwass certainly is. There's number 13 towards centre wing, towards Stevens. McIntosh slaps it out towards Ball. Gets it away towards Simmons. High kick, tumbling it towards half forward. A valiant attempt to mark by 100 game ahead. He couldn't quite hold it. Chris Lewis is at the bottom of the pack. He has the football and is going nowhere.
North Melbourne to be in all sorts of trouble without Wayne Schwass tonight. He's been absolutely tremendous. Drew Banfield, his opponent, giving him a little bit of room every now and again, and Schwass has really made him pay.
Schwass, 16 possessions to half-time. Stevens, his 9th possession, floats it back towards the middle. Loose ball, and Jakovic only as far as Armstrong, who boots to half-forward. Going back, it's Waterman. Approaching half-time. Down to 20 seconds. Jakovic on the outer side. He's won the battle so far. Carey, 5 kicks, 2 hand passes. Jakovic, forward of the wing, floats it down towards the 50. McIntosh, North could ill afford that. It fell into his arms. He's got 2, and we're down to 5 seconds. He will kick after the siren. Well, they've missed a few opportunities to bury North. Will McIntosh get his 3rd here? Umpire says he is on the mark. And that man on the mark is standing about 40 metres from goal. Distance shouldn't be a problem. McIntosh goes from 52. It's a magnificent kick. Oh, it's a beauty on the half. North take a body blow. North Melbourne got the first 2 goals of this game in the opening 4 minutes. And now at half-time they stand at 3-5, so the West Coast Eagles certainly putting their stamp on the last 55 minutes or so. Half-time at the Wacker, and the Eagles are out 6-6 to 3-5.
In this vital 3rd quarter, Ishenko with a roundhouse right tries to swipe it forward, but it's picked up by Pike, who kicks towards Heady. He was claimed in an illegal fashion, and will quickly send the Eagles into attack. Up towards half forward, a number of options. There was Lewis and there was Hines. And it's David Hines. He's going to have a shot. This could really hurt North Melbourne on one of the early kicks of the second half. Going to be kicking from just inside 50. Somewhat tentative in the approach. Into the square it goes. Is the mark going to be paid? No, it's not. Ball plays on. And shows the umpire that he's doing his level best to get rid of the football. So virtually in the square. Right on the edge. Ball does the ruck work. Rock comes away, tumbling a punt towards half back. Difficult one for McKernan. Kemp is scouting, so too McKenna. It is Kemp who flicks it to half forward. Bond was his target. Past the arms of Pike. Back to Kemp again, but he gives it straight away to Robert Scott, who bends it back towards Carey. What sort of a bounce will he get? It's okay, and like lightning he goes towards Allison, who juggles it. He stabs it in towards Longmire. Couldn't take it. What's his recovery like? Has it now, loses it, ripped off the ball. The umpire calls play on. Hines gives it away to Hart, across to McKenna, and now Banfield, and they're running it away. Waterman through the centre he goes. Danger here for North Melbourne. Don Pike passes towards ball, and he marks inside 50. The big man swings on a sixpence, shoots towards goal. What play!
Absolutely sensational play from the Eagles there. Their back line was just so aggressive at the ball. Every one of them were on the move. Waterman coming through, a quick exchange of hands, and Pike finds ball out on the lead. And the great part is the agility of this big man, the way he was able to turn and then after 2 steps be able to slot it right through. Great passage of play, Eagles.
Out to 25 points now. Ashenko goes up, knocks it down. Kemp grabbed immediately, jarred loose. Schwass went nowhere. Banfield a high up and under. Simmons goes back, knocked away by Allison. Taken by Turnbull. It was floored, no free kick. The ball comes out wide, off the ground by Simmons. Across the line it will be thrown in. Well, I suppose if you're looking for a silver lining and you support North Melbourne, they've trailed at half-time in both their wins this season. They were down by 4 points against the Crows and 19 points against the Demons, as it was at half-time in this one. That was a few points ago. Got a bounce on the wing. Simic, Dunstan. Ashenko and Hines. Rock floats one towards half forward. Falls behind. Hart gets back. The look away hand pass favours Jakovic to Pike, and they do it again. Here comes Pike up through the middle, lacking support. Good chase from Schwass. The kick comes down towards half back. Blakey to Martin. This is Scholl, had his problems tonight. Not normally the case. He's a wonderful defender along the wing. And Turnbull angles the punch away out of bounds. Under 17 minutes till 3/4 time. The West Coast Eagles, after a slow start, which has been the hallmark of North Melbourne in recent weeks, have worked their way right on top. Some great footy, exemplified by that last goal. This is Scholl in trouble, nicely done. He's on the wing, he kicks down towards half forward. The champs at it again. Carey and Jakovic. Was Carey held? No free kick. Hart dragged down. Awkward one for Armstrong. Simmons is in there. Armstrong sockers it off the deck. It goes down towards the pocket. In front, Waterman. And he's happy with that.
Eagles fans loving it at the moment. The side ahead by 25 points. Robert Scott ripped off it by Hart. Jakovic and Carey head towards the line. North desperate for a score. Well, they've got it down in this zone. McKernan will give them a score. Can he get it back far enough? Not quite.
North Melbourne seem to be really struggling underneath those big man contests still, and they're running with Longmire, Carey and McKernan in the forward line. Perhaps it is a chance now to look at some of the smaller players in around there.
4 straight kicks the difference. Mitchell White to himself and then to the outer side. Towards Wilson. Within Armstrong. Anthony Rock also in picture. And another throw. North managing just 3 goals in the first half. Tough and tight. Towards half forward and Archer. Wilson defends. They can run it out now. Kemp to the outer side. Poor kick. And over on the outer side by Dean Kemp. So far averaging just on 24 disposals again. He's had a wonderful start to the year. Turnbull and McKernan. The former gets a hurried kick. It gathers little distance. So lock horns again with Corey McKernan. He wins it again. Banfield tries to soccer off the ground. Scholl pretty quiet. Heady, a flick towards Kemp. Dean Kemp, 55 metres out from goal. Goes in towards ball. Over the top. And across the face of goal. One behind.
Dean Kemp barking the instructions. Here's Ross Smith. Jason Ball putting a headache down there. Schwass up from the back pocket. His 17th possession. Goes for distance. Telling kick towards the outer side wing. Turnbull initially launched himself, I think, to punch away, then changed his mind. Comes to Banfield. He's forward of the wing, brings it across the ground. Good-looking kick too, and ball on the end of it. He's outside the 50. Vacant goal square. Lewis can get back on this ball and heads towards him. Not required. Touched on the line. Well, Lewis was a little casual in all of that. Either his ball or a Shepherd. Still easy from up here and behind.
It's a great piece of work from Ball, though. It's seen the open goal square, having the attack, and yes, you call it correctly there, Dennis, that Chris Lewis should have been a little bit more aggressive at either taking the opponent out or taking the ball himself.
7-8, 3-6. There's the kick in. North with 3 men up. 3 big men too. The hand pass from Rock. He knocks it on. Up towards the wing it goes. Banfield, who's been pretty good. Simmons. Awkward hand pass. Mainwaring with some time. Jakovic peels off from Carey. In trouble. Manages to poke it across to Simmons. Great tackle, Carey. Got him down. And the ball out of bounds on the full out there.
North desperate for the next goal. Up towards their half-forward line. Allison and Turnbull there. And the big man will swing back to contest another throw-in. Midway during this all-important third quarter. Just at the moment, the Roos finding goals tough to come by. Hines drops what he probably should have taken on centre wing. Socket out of his hands towards the half-forward line, and a push. Will come back. David Hart was away. Armstrong been pretty quiet tonight. Kick number 6. Puts it up in the air for his forwards. Jakovic is the spoiler from behind. Tries to soccer it forward, then Carey applies the tackle. Wilson shrugs one. Bends it round his body. No one at home. But Scholl drops what he should have taken. McIntosh to Simmons on to Kemp. The Eagles out of trouble again. Dean Kemp towards McKenna. Got a hand to it. But with David King sees it over the line. On centre wing. Eagles standing strong at the moment. Ushenko and Hines. Schwass gets a fist to it. Scott gets a hand pass away to Blakey, who flicks it to half forward. Can't beat this defence. Hart is one of them. Wide to Turnbull. Big man can run on. Away he goes. Long and low, up towards the half-forward line. Laidley and Heady lock horns. Lady applies a tackle on ball, which is effective. The ball spills free and eventually over the line on the outer side.
So Andy Dennis Pagan has made a move in the forward line with Corey McKernan going off and Trent Nichols coming on. So a big off and a small on.
13 minutes till three-quarter time. Boundary throw in. Schwass from behind. Big fist away. Appeared a little too high on Robert Scott. He'll get the free kick. Wants to go and does. Forces himself onto the left boot. As a result, gave it away. Here's Turnbull. Takes the mark. Hit the ground running. Look at the kick. All of about 65 metres. Well done by Smith. McIntosh, was he pushed in the back? No. Well, he may have been, but not according to the umpire. So a boundary throw in. McIntosh has been good. 3 goals tonight. Ball and McKernan now. McKernan with strength, controlled it very well, dragged off the kick. Armstrong upended. Pike could punish North Melbourne from 40 metres. He has. Goal. His second.
And a very aggressive second. I incorrectly called McKernan going off, and he was involved in that ruck play, but made no difference to the Eagles' attack there, with Don Pike being able to scout the pack so very, very well and then drag it round his right. He's had a very good night playing on Armstrong in the centre. He's negated a good player there and been very constructive himself.
Tough now for the Roos. Out of the middle, it's Mainwaring pumping the Eagles into attack again. One grab by Lewis. Smith is there to defend. McIntosh trying to keep it in play towards Lewis. loses out on this occasion. Martin beautifully tackled by Heady. Smith comes through, pumps it long and high towards centre wing. Simmons couldn't quite get a fist to it, but he claims Anthony Rock with a fine tackle. Spills towards Hines. Here they go again. Off to the running Dean Kemp. He step passes towards McIntosh. Needs someone going past. Has got Hines. A flick in towards Wilson. It comes unstuck. Wilson's forced to apply the tackle, and he locks it up in that half-forward zone. Look at Laidley and Scott coming in over the top. A bounce to take place. The Eagles in control. They surge forward. At half forward, Schwartz gets a hurried kick back towards the middle. Hines floating across the front, couldn't complete the mark. Hart had it, then lost it. Rock will try to make him pay, but it's going to be very difficult. Nichols takes it from Ashenko. But look at the pressure this defence applies. Mitchell White comes away. From the half-back flank, wide to the outer wing. McIntosh on the run. Got to beat a couple. Beautifully done to Pike. Kicks towards half-forward. Heady was held. The umpire calls play on. It's tough in your 100. He says, I'll do it on my own. And he does! What a goal! Brett Heady celebrate that century of games. 9-8, plays 3-6.
It's been a very quiet night for Brett Heady's today, but what a tremendous goal here. This is the trademark of Brett Heady. Whether he's playing half forward or into the centre of the ground, he'll certainly make sides pay. A tremendous effort there.
Wayne Carey off the ground and in a spot of bother. Dwayne Lamb will keep us up to date with what is happening there.
Meanwhile, back in the middle, it's getting right away from North at the present time. Only one goal since the 5-minute mark of the opening term. Schwartz grabs the main wearing kick and goes down inside the 50 for his team. Waterman, very adept at that, particularly in that area. The boundary throw in. So Carey off under the blood rule. Far cry from round 3 last year against Hawthorn when he dominated. 17 marks and 7 goals. Today, it's been tough. Still, he'll be back. Stevens. Nichols throws it on the boot. Wide of the marker behind. Trent Nichols. 4 games for the Eagles in 1992. It wasn't a happy journey for him. He's happy now, although a look at that scoreline would make him a little disappointed, I think, but still plenty of time. The Eagles playing so well. Here's Kemp out of the back pocket, the short one. Simmons liked his game. An up-and-comer from half-back goes across the ground. Well, misjudged by Longmire. Loose ball behind. Mainwaring to Wilson. More trouble, one senses for North. They've got the numbers storming down the ground. McKenna to Wilson. Runs inside the 50. Likes these on the run. His first.
And it's quite awesome just at the moment, isn't it, Sandy? The way that they're able to run so aggressively. Wilson lays it off to McKenna and then keeps going with the confidence to be able to receive on the outside of McKenna and then be able to slot it through. It's an infectious wave just at the moment from the Eagles side. Right from the back line, they're all coming through in a wave and being able to strike up many forwards.
What we're seeing at the moment is a very powerful brand of football by the best team in the land. Kemp applies the tackle. He's had an excellent game. Scott has been in the thick of things there, but he can't take it. Pike does. Towards half forward, but only as far as Dean Laidley. Coming back into this North lineup. He's tried his heart out. Puts it out in front of Scholl. Can't keep it in play and a throw in. Now Ashenko coming off, and let's go down to the boundary line. Dwayne Lamb, what have you got on Wayne Carey?
Yeah, he's not having a very good night at all. He's actually got a split on the top of his nose, so they've taken him inside to have a look at it, and he may need a stitch.
So off, of course, with the blood rule. Thanks, Dwayne. As Simmons picks it up now and guides the Eagles towards the half-forward line, and McKenna was there. Heady also. Ball. Look at the strength of the man as he swings away into the left foot. McIntosh couldn't pick it up on the half volley. Martin Claim loses it to Bond. Oh, but he's blotted the copybook badly by going out of bounds on the full.
In actual fact, it's coming back to the umpire. He deemed that the tackle held the ball in there. I think he was probably a little bit quick just to blow it.
So back it will come to the half-forward region. And we can take it back for Mr. Bond. McIntosh steaming through, unable to take it at the first attempt. Does so at the second. But another whistle. They're teasing us here tonight. What? Another whistle. And Grant Vernon has a wry smile on his face, but he's probably one of the few.
It's hard to pick here. Very hard to pick.
Well, McIntosh in the thick of things again on the outer side with him, Mick Martin. Martin tries to swat it further on towards Longmire under great pressure. Armstrong gets the hand pass away. Now this is Smith from the defensive side of centre. He goes to half forward, a big pack of players fisted down towards Banfield. Dodged beautifully, however. Gets it away towards Waterman. Has one bounce. Gets away from Scholl. Penetrating hand pass from Pike to Hines. Look out! Spills free to Bond. Still dangerous. Inside 50. Well smothered by Blakey. Pike goes into assist and he slaps it out. 40 metres out from the Eagles scoring zone. King can't get an effective kick away. It's locked up. And the umpire has put the whistle away. Kemp's still going. Gives it back towards McIntosh. There is no whistle. Still in the forward zone. Now King, a chance to sneak away from ball, and he does to the outer side.
What a bounce from Blakey. Should have got a free kick, seems hours ago. There's Allison waiting to come on. Trent Nichols off the ground. Hines and Capuano. Hines cleverly. Schwartz towards the boundary yet again. Mainwaring's in front. Another throw in. Just over 7 minutes till three-quarter time. Chris Mainwaring has been solid tonight. Needs the run. This is Waterman. Great evasion. Centering kick. McKenna had to go back. Couldn't complete the mark. Runs onto the loose ball. Falling to the ground. He got the hand pass away. He was pushed in the back according to the umpire. So McKenna can pop it in short and does. And ball is marked only about 25 metres out on a slight angle. Jason Ball with 2 so far. Wayne Carey back on the bench. No laughing matter this. So here's Ball. It's close. He's missed. Says something about the magnetism of that man coming back onto the ground, that although Jason Ball was lining up for an Eagles goal, he took his jumper off and half the crowd whistled. Constantly watched. Here's Wayne Schwartz meantime to bring it in. Just over 6 minutes till three-quarter time to the outer side, and we've got a kickoff infringement, have we? Was he outside the square? Coaches love this rule. Very pedantic. And we're going to have a bounce, I think, from the kickoff line. You have these days and nights.
So back to the square it goes. Wayne Schwartz cannot believe it. Bond tries to storm through. McKenna is there. Bond again. Stevens for a moment. Banfield, as he was about to sneak out the back door, heard the whistle.
That bounce couldn't have been for a second warning. It was too quick, wasn't it?
No, it must have only been centimetres in it, though.
Yeah. Stepped over the line. And still in that zone. Let's see what happens here.
Oh.
Not a lot on behalf of Armstrong. Not what North Melbourne wanted to see. Chris Mainwaring to take the free kick.
The Armstrong just can't take a trick tonight. The ball had spilt free, applied the tackle, accurately called by the umpire.
So Chris Mainwaring for his first goal of the night. Drop punt that drifts across the face and through for one behind. North have added just 2 points in this term. Eagles have added 4 goals for. It has been their quarter. This is Stevens on the outer side of the ground. Low flat kick up towards the half back line. Pike has been sensational. Off he goes to Drew Banfield. 55 out. In towards full forward. What a lovely kick. Michael Dunstan, the former Lion, is going to have a shot. 40 metres out. An angle that really shouldn't trouble him greatly.
No, this is a very good kick in there from Banfield. Again, a West Coast Eagles player in the forward line, unmarked. This time it's Dunstan.
Straight through the middle. So Dunstan gets his first and he's delighted about it. This is turning into a big performance by the West Coast Eagles.
It's Dunstan's first goal, but the Eagles' 8th consecutive goal, and that's been the killer at this stage for North Melbourne, that they haven't been able to answer any one of these great goals that the Eagles have been able to put together in this particular third quarter.
Just over 4 minutes till three-quarter time now. Here's our scoreline. The Eagles with 11 of the last dozen goals in this game as Mitchell White goes out wide. Martin and Hines, whoops, missed it. McKenna trying to knock it forward. Comes back towards Hines. Archer. His third possession, a little looping hand pass to Schwass. Stevens with the run of it. That's better. Capuano on the wing. Goes down towards half forward. Carey and Jakovic. Socket off the ground by the defender. That's Waterman. Scott. Well, he did very nicely. Got it across to Nichols, who, according to the boundary umpire, didn't cross the line, or did he? I think he may have. The boundary umpire is chasing the central umpire, so all of that was just target practice. Wrong boundary umpire, I think.
Yes. It's got to go over the other side.
Well, it may not be possible. It sounds a contradiction in terms to have an awesome 5-goal quarter, but that's what the Eagles have shown us here. They grind it out, uncompromising. It's based on defence, but 5 goals in this term, and you get the feeling they've broken the spirit, or all but, of North Melbourne. Jakovic gained about 10 metres. Turnbull goes over the top. Simmons, cleverly done. Banfield, when you're hot, you're hot. Banfield goes around the outer side. Dunstan or Hines. I think it's Dunstan's. Yes, he's got the mark. Down towards right half forward. Pike's run on down the ground. Well done by Allison. Not so well done. He's been penalised. Pretty tough call. I guess he made the mistake of not looking back at the ball.
14th kick coming up for Don Pike. Kicked a goal in the first term, kicked a goal earlier in this term, which was a beauty, and I think he might have just about done it again. What a quarter of football. 3 goals to Don Pike. And even the baby's smiling.
Hasn't he come a long way, Don Pike? He's certainly developed into a very good player for the Eagles side, and just what they need, someone who can be a defensive role when it's necessary, and that's the Malthouse philosophy, that all attack comes from defence, and Don Pike certainly does that for his coach on numerous occasions.
How about that score? Here's Armstrong through the middle. Long telling kick inside the 50. Carey in front. Nichols, it's going to be a Carey free kick. He'll get the free about 35 metres out. I guess now most interest in this game revolving around their duel. The crowd right into that. Well, not too much to it.
No, there wasn't. Wayne Carey has been probably too intent tonight on that pushing into the contest.
Here's Carey then. Crowd tells the story.
The last goal was at the 1-minute mark of the second quarter.
12-10 plays 3-8. Waterman kicks in precisely and finds White. It goes to Hart. They combine pretty well. Back it comes to the man who kicked it in. That's Waterman. And across the ground they go. Almost a set play, I'd suggest. Djakovic has got it. Looks to the middle. And perhaps the next piece of the jigsaw wasn't there. So Djakovic decides to run. He's improvising. He ad-libs from half-back. Kicks towards the wing. In front, Martin knocked away, but only as far as Heady. Into the path of Banfield. Banfield about 60 metres out. Spears the pass and intended for ball, but McKernan gets in front.
Corey McKernan swings it wide to the run of Roberts. Can he get there in time and keep it in play? On half-back, just chips over the top. Finds Dean Laidley. 12-10, plays 3-8. Laidley from half-back. Djakovic, but Longmire just nips in front of him and gets a fist to it. Meanwhile, Carey asks the question, the umpire, as Mick Malthouse comes down with just a minute or so remaining. Carey having a chat to the umpire, questions to whether he was held illegally in that contest. So he contests the throw-in and belts it up towards half-forward. Mainwaring is there, however, for the Eagles. Pops it over the top to the run of David Hart. Trent Nichols gives chase. He may go back to Mainwaring. No, he escapes the tackle. Kicks to centre wing and finds Mitchell White, who's drifted down there. Mainwaring does it beautifully on the outer wing. They mount another challenge. A chance to go deep into that attacking zone. In towards the forward line, towards the damaging ball. Keeps it in play, snaps in towards goal, and oh, so close. Oh, one behind.
Been very impressive for a big man, hasn't he? He's 4 goals last week, and you would not forget the goal that put the Eagles in front at the MCG last Sunday was a result of Jason Ball and his ruck work.
12-11, plays 3-8. Ross Smith just pops it into Archer in the pocket. Ball sets himself, unable to take the mark. Allison belts it over the back, but straight to Djakovic. Look at that hand pass. Off to Chris Mainwaring. Short little chip. They could finish with another goal here. Snap from the pocket. One behind.
(12-12), 3-8. Michael Dunstan, former South Fremantle player, played for Fitzroy. Now back with the West Coast Eagles. Dying seconds of this term. And what a powerful display from the West Coast Eagles as Smith boots it out wide, intended for King. Wilson in from the side, puts a fist on it, gets it across the line. Clock stops at 4 seconds. Wilson has been good again tonight. 14 possessions. An evergreen. On 3/4 time, they contest. Schwartz pushed off it. Goes again. Wishes he hadn't. 3/4 time at the Wacker, and that says it all. Applause from the faithful as the West Coast Eagles have been simply terrific in that term, and they lead at 3/4 time. 12-12 to 3-8.
Be a mighty turnaround. 12-12 plays 3-8 as we go into the final term here at the Wacker. Hines on the ball, and he wins it. But it goes straight to Schwartz, who's upended as he gets a kick down towards the half-forward line. Looking towards Carey, couldn't take it cleanly. Simmons has had an excellent game. He soccers it away towards the half-back flank region and eventually sees it over the line on that outer side. Very promising young player. Has showed real class tonight. Roberts and Hines, bit of holding on. Oh. Picked up and Roberts will take it. All right, Dan.
I'm fine.
Roberts to Carey. Well, couldn't take the mark. Pike finds McKenna on that half-back line. Another one to Kemp. Beautifully done as they run it out of defence. Here's Guy McKenna swinging it wide to the outer wing. And a throw-in to take place in that region. Full house here at the Wacker tonight. Many of them sporting the Eagles, and many have seen a wonderful display. McIntosh and Wilson having a spell.
The 222s go at it. Falls in front, socket off the ground through there by Dunstan. Still, the Eagles work it forward. Archer, who's pushed in the back, nothing doing. Heady, got it to Bond, across towards Dunstan, who boots from right on the boundary line. Sumich, could have been held. Martin hits for the line, and that will do. Mickey Martin. There's Peter Sumich. The quiet achiever at North, Michael Martin, terrific in the night series. Two best and fairest with North. Downward Archer. It spills across to Ball, who off a step puts it out of bounds on the full in the left full forward pocket. So big day this for WA footy. The Dockers winning at the Western Oval. It seems certain the Eagles will win tonight. Martin out of defence. Hines, favoured by the kick, has taken this mark about 60 metres from goal. Decides to go in short, and Bond, that's too easy. Bond has taken this mark about 35 metres out. Interesting to note, Fremantle got their first win in Melbourne quicker than the Eagles. The Eagles lost their first two in Melbourne before winning in round 5 of 1987. They beat Hawthorn at Princes Park. Well, today, round 3, the Dockers posting a victory. Here's Bond. Has he got the accuracy? Brushes the post to behind.
Shane Bond spent time on the bench, just 4 kicks tonight. 12-13, plays 3-8. Oh, King. The fly, but no mark. Armstrong has been very quiet. Has a bounce, then kicks up over centre towards half forward. Out comes Longmire. Allison is there, so too Scott and Carey. The latter two combined. Robert Scott heads for home. McKenna going with the flight of the ball. Gets a hand to it. And the result is 1 behind.
That was a much better passage through half forward there for North Melbourne. At least they had numbers around the foot of the contest. It was Carey that got it, but there were at least 3 other smalls in around the contest.
Robert Scott, one of the very early goals for North Melbourne. They opened like greased lightning with a couple. Since then, the drought has well and truly set in. Smith and Mainwaring to contest. Chris Mainwaring, one of the stars, have kicked a kick on 4 quarters each week on 7, particularly for those viewers in Western Australia. It's Wayne Schwass, who also started brilliantly. Sees it over the line, another throw-in.
Chris Lewis up on the ball, just 2 kicks, 2 possessions for the night, so Ross Smith has to figure in North Melbourne's best. Here's Schwass falling to the ground. The man I speak of, Smith, brought upfield because of the move involving Lewis. Waterman knocks it down as far as Rock, swings it out wide. Roberts just inside the 50. Roberts goes in short. Longmire showed too much of that ball to the defence. Nichols, the hand pass, now he goes after it. Hooks, that is a magnificent attempt. Just across the face, I fancy, and a behind. Great work there, though. Too little, too late. 12-13, 3-10. 16 and a half minutes till full time as Waterman goes towards the outer side. McKenna stood his ground and took a good grab.
Keenan Reynolds giving away 50.
Hasn't been a good night for Keenan. Started on Jason Ball, who was very good. Muffed up one up in the goal square for North Melbourne, and now giving 50 metres away.
And away goes Michael Dunstan with a high kick into the congested forward zone. Sumich was one of the flyers. There's been a push. It's been discovered by the umpire, and it will go the way of McMahon. No one on the mark, so away he goes. A wobbly old punt kick going away towards the right. Dunstan is there once again. Beats him over the line. Tony Evans in picture. Playing his 54th game. Michael Dunstan kicked a goal in the third quarter. This is Blayton. Plucks it straight out of the air. Kicks towards centre wing. Towards Djakovic and Carey. It's been the Eagles' man night tonight. Good mark to Scholl. Sting having gone out of this game as Scholl swings it back towards the centre once again. Maybe that sums it up.
He's completely dominated there. Each time that Wayne Carey has wanted to wrestle, Glenn Djakovic has had the answer. I think Carey needs to attack the ball a little bit more, lead harder at it and meet it as early as possible rather than holding back and wrestling.
He finds Hines, forward of centre wing. Call to play on now. To a congested half-forward zone. Sumic the flyer from the side. Kemp weighed it down. Banfield was there also. So too Evans. Bond. Socket off the ground. Still with the Eagles. This time it's McKenna. Off towards Pike. Evans. Claim. Scott a chance? Maybe. No. Scholl picks it up now. Gives it across to Stevens. This could bring rain. A high kick in towards the centre. Hines drops it. Nichols juggles it. But it's going to come back. And there's a bit of talking going on. Free kick going against Carey. Djakovic on the defensive side of centre. Again into attack. Kemp at the back. Untidy. Smith in game number 199. Goes to the outer side, but again Djakovic reigns supreme. And again he goes into attack. This time the mark taken by Evans. Wants to go on with it. He stabs it in towards full forward. And Brett Heady asking for 50. Kicked a wonderful goal in the third quarter to celebrate his 100th game. And he'll go back now attempting to kick the Eagles 13. Relatively quiet night, just 4 kicks and 3 hand passes. Kicking from 40 metres, 45-degree angle. Drop punted is away to the left and one behind her.
Brett Heady, a veteran of 15 finals and 2 premierships. Well held tonight. Smith. 13.5 minutes till full time. Very high kick from Smith. McKernan in front. Hines, the leaper there. Falls down to Roberts. A bit happened off the ball. As the ball comes down towards half forward, the juggled mark is held by Waterman. Waterman, the short one. Pike, who's been very good. Sits in a half back, told to play on. Feeds it to Hart. Hart forward of half back, goes out very wide. Well-weighted kick. Great courage from Longmire to get back into the contest. Through comes Rock. Scrambles a kick down towards right half forward. Reynolds in front, he's outnumbered. Throws it on the boot. Lost the decision. I think he kicked it across the line, so it could be a boundary throw-in out there. Kenan Reynolds. Chris Lewis off the ground. Very quiet night for him. McIntosh back on. McIntosh 3 goals. A real danger man. A live wire on the forward line. Hines to McKenna. McKenna with the outside of the boot. Heads for the boundary line. Clever kick. It's out of bounds. Will be thrown in. Under 13 minutes till full time. It seems merely a formality.
On the outer wing, Robertson Hines. Out the back it comes, neither really getting a touch. McKenna towards the boundary line. Touch of cramp, but he's okay. 10 kicks and 4 marks for the key defender. Roberts tucks it under his arm for a moment, gets a kick towards Allison, who doesn't get a kind bounce. Reynolds gives the hand pass away. In towards Longmire went the kick. Mitchell White defends, can go over the top to Djakovic, decides to go further. Mainwaring stands his ground. Off to Djakovic. Well, he's enjoying that tonight, showing them the football and having a bit of a run. Kicks towards centre wing, and an excellent mark taken by Smith. Away he goes, back towards the centre once again. Reynolds the flyer, Waterman waits down, he's got Mainwaring wide on the wing. Chris Mainwaring, clear, has a look up towards the forward line. Martin and Sumich, the two number 4s. Ross Smith, who eventually sees it over. Sumich just one goal tonight, that was in the second quarter. Ball has been effective up in the forward line. Can't get it on this occasion. Evans is held. Dean Laidley, a wry smile. Ball and McKernan at it. And the umpire's found a whistle. It's going to go the way of Chris Mainwaring. Just outside 50. He waits for McIntosh to offer something. It's not what he wants, so he goes back and kicks it long and in fact makes the distance, but just pulls it to the left for one behind.
Mickey Malthouse would be looking for Peter Sumich to be able to pick up a couple in such a high score for the West Coast Eagles here tonight. He really struggled on the road back through injury, and it would be great for him to be able to pick up a couple of goals here towards the end of the game.
Here's Blakey, got it from Schwartz. Guy McKenna taking a break. He's off the ground at the moment. Kick to the outside. Djakovic comes storming up. Cannons into his teammate Ball. Ball's out of bounds and will be thrown in. There's McKenna. Job well done. Schenko and Turnbull. Turnbull very good when it counted. Hines slips it away. Pike pulls it back inside the 50. McKernan uncontested, plays on. Laidley has been terrific, as has Smith, but too few trying to do too much for North. He kicks it towards the wing. It falls to Mainwaring. He's found some form tonight. The hand pass not particularly good. Scholl has had a dirty night. It's the hand pass directly to Banfield. Talk him into anything. The kick outside the 50 is marked by Ball. Dunstan, fumble, goes again, back to Ball, forced to kick it with his left foot. Well inside the 50, Martin, aided by a good shepherd from Laidley, comes away, boots towards midfield, all North. Ashenko spills the mark. Still he goes. Ashenko to Scholl. He doesn't look, kicks it down towards half forward. Good effort from Archer. He's been pretty rusty tonight though. Wide of the pack, Djakovic measures the soccer. Centimetre perfect. Throw it out his side.
"13 kicks, 6 marks, 6 hand passes. Fine defender, Ben Djakovic. Turnbull working from behind towards Banfield. Blakey there also, and Don Pike, who's had a good game.
North look a little shell-shocked, don't they? I mean,
Yes.
no spirit there at all at the moment.
It's a heck of a place out there at the moment, isn't it? They haven't scored a goal since early in the second quarter, and now all the fumbles and basic mistakes are really creeping into the game. Very disheartening for all the players. I think all they want to do now is get onto the plane.
It could be a long trip home. Kemp on the outer side. Stabs into the forward line. Beautiful. The ball.
He's caused so many problems.
Players running everywhere. Look at McIntosh. Alone and unattended, but he'll have to go back and pick over the mark. Fans saying, aren't you somewhat pedantic? Man in white as the same. So ball.
You fancy him from here, Dennis?
No.
Kicked one in the first, he kicked one in the third. And as Dan said, he wouldn't fancy him from that position.
Just under 6'6". I mean, it's scary, the mobility of that man. And Turnbull.
Hines, one of the flyers, unable to take the mark. Rock gets it away towards Armstrong. Tumbles it into the centre. Waterman overruns it. Jakovic is there. Carey chasing, but Jakovic gets the kick to Turnbull. Ryan Turnbull on centre wing. Not too many leaving this ground. I'm sure they want to give the home side a standing ovation tonight. Mick Martin, as always, tries his heart out. Goes wide to the run of Wayne Schwass. Away he goes with a bounce. Then gets the hand pass away to the run of Capuano. He kicks up over the centre. And a good mark taken by Keenan Reynolds. Call to play on. Reynolds goes towards Carey and Jakovic. Neither can take it. Doing the roving work and doing it well was Michael Dunstan. He finds Waterman.
He's been very steady. Centering kick to Bond, just forward of half-back. Plays on. Like a clinic at the present time. White down towards half-forward. Kemp's in front. Awkward half-volley. Turnbull, cleverly done to his own advantage. He's 60 metres out. He can kick it a long way, Turnbull. He heads for home. Ball goes back. Oh, Mickey Martin showing no compassion. Bearing down. Off hands are behind. But again, in evidence, the run of a big man there. Ryan Turnbull.
That was tremendous agility from a man his size, as you've quoted about Ball and now Turnbull. They've got a lot going for them here, the Eagle Tools.
Turnbull, 14 kicks from 8 marks. One hand pass, and he spent some time on the bench when the game was won. Armstrong gets it across to Stevens. Good chase from Bond. The kick comes inside the 50. In from the side, a big leap down there. All to no avail from Archer. Spills to Longmire, and he's missed. The drought continues. They got their third goal in the first minute of the second term. And they're anchored on 3 goals. 3-11, players 12-16.
59 points the margin. 6.5 minutes remaining. Waterman to Dunstan. Kick dropped short, taken by Reynolds. Pokes a high one, back into the forward line. Mitchell White provides a big fist. Stevens stands his ground. Schwass blindly shoots in towards goal. And the result is 1 behind. (12-16) plays 3-12. Wayne Schwass, 17 kicks, 6 hand passes. Had a wonderful first term.
And that's certainly depicted the way the Eagles have gone about the game. Sandy, they've just slowly ground the North Melbourne side right into the turf here, and they're not relenting now either.
No, they're not. Evans' kick went towards the centre wing. Now leading the race is Turnbull, who slaps it away with his left hand. Picks himself up. We'll get ready to contest another throw-in with Alex Ashenko. Ashenko won it with the left hand. Nichols overruns it. Allison soccers towards Reynolds. He marks forward of centre. Longmire provides the lead. It's a good one, and the kick too is perfect for John Longmire to have a shot from just on 50. Kicked 1 goal tonight. That was in the second quarter. That was their last goal in the first minute of the second quarter. Oh, and that is away to the right as well. But not the Northerners' night tonight.
It's quite incredible, isn't it? A scoring machine like North Melbourne has their last goal kicked by John Longmire at the beginning of that second quarter, and still struggling here now. It's a tough one for Dennis Pagan to be able to put a finger onto exactly why.
Jakovic coming up for his 15th kick. 6 hand passes. Goes short, Mainwaring. The longer it's gone, the better he's got. Bond, look at this. They're queuing up on this grandstand side. Simmons is away. A second bounce, a third. Running it down towards half forward. He's had almost too much time. Kicks in short, ball almost. Over the top, Roberts. The umpire will bounce it. Jason Ball. Very good against Collingwood. Again tonight. Struggled with injury in the pre-season. He's going to be a very good player. Off hands, Dunstan. Mainwaring. Yes, a little confidence creeping into his game now, but he's away to the right. He can't will it through. Can't sing it through. It's a behind.
Singing. 12-17. Plays 3-13. Away goes Schwass. Oh dear. Under 4 minutes remaining. And the Roos probably not unhappy about that. Capuano contests. McIntosh bursts through. Only to see another throw. Eddie and Laidley having a bit to say to each other. Brett Heady playing his 100th game. Fine milestone for him. Have a look at this snap. Off target and another behind. So Evans now.
It's quite incredible, isn't it, that 6-goal third quarter of the Eagles and everything. They look so very, very good, and we have a very dried up last quarter in terms of goals.
Yep, not one.
No.
It'll be quick.
They've added 6 behinds, the Eagles, in this final term. North Melbourne have added 5. And away goes the running Mickey Martin on the outer side towards Keenan Reynolds. Waiting down there was Hart. And bundled over the line, Michael Dunstan. Another throw.
Just over 3 minutes till full time. Schenko in front from behind Turnbull. Roberts, the hurried kick. It floats down towards the 50. Going back Waterman, a little push. Fair enough, says the umpire. More to the point, says nothing at all. Waterman, that's rather lazy. Low down, Dunstan takes the mark. He's fitted in nicely. High to the wing, in front. McKernan. Sandwich was heady. Schwass, he started so well. The weight of numbers has told the story. Roberts to Rock. Stevens at full tilt. Inside the 50. Is this one? Yes, they've got it. Oh, just beaten the curfew.
I would suggest a very welcome score to the North Melbourne scoreboard. Schwass again in there. He has tied throughout the game to the attention of Drew Banfield. Here's the run from Stevens, but unfortunately it's too late, and West Coast Eagles have been so very, very good right throughout.
(12-18) plays 4-13. And it was a long time, but finally Anthony Stevens breaking through for North Melbourne's first goal since the first minute of the second quarter. And the only goal we've seen in this term. Young man from Shepparton. Schenko and Turnbull contesting the throw-in once again. Roberts down in front. Wobbles a punt kick down towards full forward. Fisted away from Longmire at the second attempt by Mitchell White, and it's effective. The Eagles coming into tonight's game without one of their best defenders in Michael Brennan. Wonderful experience. Carey couldn't get Boot the ball in time. Neither could Reynolds. They're also without Johnny Worsfold and without Peter Matera. and still they've been able to put on an awesome display. Under 2 minutes remaining. Roberts out of the air, but partly smothered to Schwass in the pocket. Away Schwass! 1 3/4 minutes.
You'd think that would be impossible, wouldn't you? Geometrically?
Well, not really when you consider the night they've had.
True.
White's kick. Roberts claiming the mark and being paid. Centering towards Stevens. He goes into that forward zone once more where Longmire and Carey is. Carey seemed to cop one. Banfield keeps running. Now the whistle has sounded and Wayne Carey caught one in the back.
You see the attack on the ball here and incident there, but Jakovic has been called for throwing the ball on the tackle. And now Glenn Archer to have the shot on goal.
It was Longmire that got Carey with a knee. And that would have hurt.
Glenn Archer coming back into the North Melbourne lineup this week. Ball from Noble Park. Kicks away at goal and has put it through. So Archer gets his first, the second for North Melbourne in almost as many minutes. They move to 5-13. The Eagles are 12-18.
And North Melbourne would have come into the game obviously expecting themselves to be able to kick a better score than that, with Glenn Archer coming back into the side after 5 goals in the reserves last week. Carey, Longmire, Roberts. Now it's been trimmed down to only 5 goals.
Archer getting a goal there with only his second kick of the night. Hines went back and found it. Turnbull to Dunstan on the wing, chipping down towards half forward. In front was Pike. It was knocked away. Blakey did the knocking, but picking the ball up, McIntosh inside the 50. Ball pushes off and takes the mark. A revelation on the forward line.
And marking so very, very well. His 8th mark for tonight, and they've all been very good marks. I can't recall too many chest marks in it. They've all been either contested one-on-one or where he's attacked the ball and being able to use his very good reach advantage to take the mark.
Going for his 3rd right here, Jason Ball. I think he's pushed it across the face. He has. 6 seconds to go. The West Coast Eagles in a canter. 12-19, 5-13. So the pre-season champions humbled tonight. Schwass kicks in. Big pack at the fall of the ball. Ushenko on the siren, gives it to Stevens. And a real tough night as far as North Melbourne are concerned. Imposing show by the West Coast Eagles. North got the first 2 goals. Mickey Martin wanting the last word, but not much to smile about. Tough night for Wayne Carey. Beaten by that man Glenn Jakovic, but we know he'll be back. You think back to last year, Carey took the early points, and then Jakovic came back at their next meeting and got 3 Brownlow votes. Dean Laidley, great story. 52 games with the Eagles. He seems all the way back after that crippling knee injury in 1990. Feisty customer, but he lacks support tonight. And as you can see, much admired by his former teammates from the West Coast Eagles. It was billed as a heavyweight contest. Well, only one of the contenders turned up tonight. Still, it's early days. The Eagles are gathering to go off as a group. Dwayne Lamb, I think, is standing by with an interview. Dwayne, who have you got for us?
We're lucky enough to have Guy McKenna down here. Guy, obviously a very good win. The boys didn't do much wrong at all.
Fantastic. It was a big test for us. North have won their last 2, and then we've won our last 2, so we're keen to make it 3-zip.
I thought it was a real test, I suppose, without captain, vice-captain. Who is our deputy vice-captain?
Yeah, I understand it. Monkey actually wrote the speech out before the game, so I had something to say before the boys. But no, it's fantastic. I mean, without Woosha, Rue Matera and Michael Brennan, it's, I suppose we're in a healthy position.
You actually looked like you enjoyed that leadership role. I saw you patting all the boys on the bum as they went in at half-time.
suppose it's one of the best parts of the job, I suppose, Fatty.
Thanks, Blue. Congratulations.
Thanks, mate.
Oh dear, thank you, Dwayne.
So the West Coast Eagles big winners as we check this final scoreline here in the WACA. 12-19, 91. North Melbourne 5-13, 43.